Oh me, oh my, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Crib Knows Ball. Been a little while, took a little hiatus, was bouncing around from state to state, had a lot going on, but now we're back in action. We're creeping up on the playoffs and got a lot to talk about. So today I want to play a game. What I want to do is something I've seen a few other creators do, and I think is going to be a really fun idea. And I think it's also a way to showcase my elite ball knowledge. So basically, the concept is you have 15 chips, right? We're gambling today. So you have 15 chips, and you can place these chips on every team, right? So imagine if you're a bettor, right? Each one of these chips is $10. So you're going to want to bet on who you think is going to win. You got to use all 15 chips. You could put as many chips with one team as you like. If you want, you could put all 15 chips on one team. You could put 5 on one, 5 on one, 3 on one, 2 on another. Or pretty much whatever you think is the best way to not lose all your money. I'm going to put my first chip as an OKC fan on the Thunder. I don't think that a lot of people are expecting OKC to not only make a deep run, but most people aren't even expecting OKC to win the first round. Like, I'm seeing a lot of media outlets that are praising Shea and praising the Thunder, and oh my god, 7 of their 9 rotation guys are shooting 41% or better from 3, but they're probably going to get beaten by the Celtics in the Lakers in a 7-game series. They're probably going to, if they don't want to see the Warriors will take them down. The Thunder have dominated the Warriors all regular season long. The Warriors are not a threat to the Thunder. The Lakers, I don't really think are a threat to the Thunder. I think the Lakers are a threat to the Timberwolves. Beyond that, I don't think the Thunder are going to get cooked in the first round. Are they going to make it to the second round and be dominant there as well? Maybe not. That's where I see the vision for the Thunder aren't going to win everything. But that being said, the Thunder are so unbelievably good right now. They are one of the hottest teams in basketball. I mean, from top to bottom, everybody on the roster, except Josh Giddey, can hit threes at an unbelievable clip. Shea is Shea. I mean, if you haven't really been watching games and you've more just been following what's going on, watch a Thunder game. Watch Shea Gilgeous-Alexander with the basketball. It is unbelievable. He makes right decision after right decision. Good shot, good pass. His footwork is like unbelievable. Him and Jalen Brunson, as far as guards go, are 1 and 2 in whatever order you want to call it for footwork. I mean, Shea just regularly embarrasses like teams like best defenders, best point of attack defenders. He's so quick around the rim that when he's finishing, some of the best shot blockers just can't hang. Shea's unbelievable. Watch the Thunder play. If you have a guy like Shea who's driving and kicking out to these crazy talented, shooters and just shot creators, shot makers, I don't see how that team is losing to D'Angelo Russell, Anthony Davis, who has been pretty healthy this year, but I don't think it's happening. There's a reason the Lakers are fighting for a playoff spot. They're in the play-in. The Warriors, same deal. I think the Thunder are a serious threat. Now, that being said, I'm not going to go put all my eggs in one basket and say the Thunder are going to win this. I don't personally think it's a good chance the Thunder win. However, if I put 2 chips on the Thunder and the Thunder win, the odds are in my favor. I'm getting a lot of chips back. So I'm going to start out and put 2 of my chips on the OKC Thunder. The next team that I am going to put some chips on is the Boston Celtics, right? They're the best team in basketball right now. As far as the regular season goes, I don't think that's arguable. I think that's an objective statement. The only thing is, time and time again, the Celtics have relied on three-point shooting so heavily. All of their clutch shot attempts are three-point pull-up jump shots, and great, awesome. They fall in the regular season. Probably not going to be falling as efficiently in the postseason. I don't think that's going to happen. I could see them getting matched up with a team like the Cavs, the Knicks, the Bucks, and I think they could really run into some trouble against playoff defense. But all things considered, they're the Celtics. They're nuts. They have 5 All-Stars. Peyton Pritchard has been great for them off the bench. I mean, Sam Hauser is playing well for them. Celtics are a really good team. I think the smart move is to put 4 of my chips on the Celtics. I think it's likely that the Celtics make a deep run. Right now, they're the title favorites. And based on that, I don't think my return is going to be that high on these 4 chips. But I think it'll be enough to cover my losses. So the next bet that I'm going to make is I'm going to put 4 of my chips on the LA Clippers. The LA Clippers are gelling like unbelievably. Paul George has been slumping a little bit. I'm not too worried about it. I'm okay with that. I think Paul George is going to come back. You know, I've seen all the memes where it's, hey, I'm smooth. Please, Paul George, just make a shot. Please. I'm smooth. But Paul George will come around. Kawhi is unbelievable and is like one of the most underrated superstars in the league right now. Harden gets a lot of flack, but I think he's starting to get a little bit more love from the media because he is filling his role perfectly, or if you want to call it a role, he's the leader of the team. He is the system. But Harden has been unbelievable. Kawhi has been unbelievable. They should be getting Russ back in time for the playoffs, which I think is a very important thing for them to do. I think they really need what Russ brings to them as a team. Zubats is one of the most underrated centers in the league. He is a stud night in and night out. He was hurt for a little while, but since he's come back, he's been a little bit slow to return to form. But I mean, the way he was playing for the first half of the season, he was a stud. Plumlee, fantastic to also have in your center rotation. Granted, him and Zubats do a lot of the same thing. I don't think that's a bad thing, because when an injury happens in the playoffs, especially to a role player non-star, you think it doesn't have that much of an impact. But the way that they may have to reshape parts of their offensive or defensive systems can really be a problem in the playoffs, especially when coaches are making adjustments and players are giving it their 115%. Losing guys like that is not a good thing. And when you have 2 guys that can fill the same role, can split the minutes, can both contribute, and can both show out, night to night, I think that's a great position for the Clippers to be in. Terrence Mann, Amir Coffey, great role players for the Clippers. Everybody's been playing well on the Clippers. I really like what I'm seeing from them. I think everybody expects the Clippers to fizzle out because it's the Clippers, and that's my only real concern with them. I think that if they played as if it was the regular season, we would have a Clippers-Celtics finals matchup. Now, I think if all the teams in the playoffs played as if it was the regular season, we would undoubtedly have a Celtics and Clippers matchup. There's not a doubt in my mind, right? But then there's the Nuggets, the Denver Nuggets. I have 5 chips left. This is where my 5 chips are going, right? And now I know I've put way more chips. This is now 11 of my chips are in the Western Conference. The Knicks, the Cavs, the Bucks. You know what? I think the Celtics are going to come out of the East. I think it's a reasonable take, and I'm willing to put my chips on that we're not going to have an Eastern Conference champion other than the Celtics this year. I'm going to be eating my words and reacting to this in a couple of months. I hope not. But I think that the rest of my chips have to go to Denver, right? Denver is an unbelievable team. They're incredibly well constructed. Everybody's in the right place at the right time. Mike Malone's a great coach. Jokic is going to go down as a top 5 big man of all time, assuming he plays long enough and remains healthy, because Jokic is just unbelievable. I mean, his feel for the game, his IQ, his passing, his shooting, his score. The only thing he can't do is play defense. Everything else he does at an super duper superstar level. So if you have Jokic on your team, if Jokic is healthy, which he's been relatively an Iron Man for most of his career, you have Michael Porter Jr., who's just, Kevin Durant with no bag. And I think that's a fair way to put it. KD with no bag. But you have him spotting up, shooting, playing defense on other teams like wings and stuff like that, because he has some of the foot speed, but he's got the length to alter shots. I mean, there's just so much to love about the Nuggets. Jamal Murray, baby Jordan in the playoffs. The Nuggets are, I think it's foolish not to believe the Nuggets are going to come out of the West. I really don't see a team that's going to hang with the Nuggets, especially now that they skipped they're supposed to go to the White House. They just said, sorry, Joe, we can't make it. we want the 1 seed, and now 5 days after that, they are the 1 seed. So, home court advantage is important in NBA basketball, right? It's not as important as it may be in high school or college ball, but home court advantage is important, but it's nowhere near as important for any team except the Denver Nuggets. They play in the Mile High Stadium. The air is different, the fatigue you have to adjust to, you have to practice, train, this and that. The Nuggets are conditioned for that. If they have home court advantage in every series they play, except maybe the finals if they meet the Celtics, if they have home court advantage in every series they play, they're not going to lose in a 7-game series. It's not going to happen. The Joker's too nice. Jamal Murray, he's made of glass. It scares me a lot, but Jamal Murray is an absurd talent. Michael Porter Jr. is a stud. Peyton Watson has looked really good for them. Christian Brown has looked really good for them. I mean, KCP is just, like, their team is so nice. They have the depth. Losing Bruce Brown and Jeff Green hurts. I think they'll make it. I really, as much as I want to believe it, I can't fathom that Jeff Green and Bruce Brown are going to be that impactful that they couldn't have had their roles filled by a Christian Brown, a Peyton Watson. You know what I mean? Like, I understand that they're important to championship teams and title runs, but I really don't think that that's going to break them. I don't, I'm putting the rest of my chips on the Nuggets. So, to recap, we got 2 chips, underdog chips on the Thunder. I think they're well built. I think they're all very hot, but I also know they're very young. That's sort of my flyer pick. I don't want to just throw 1 chip on them. I think that's a fair amount to bet on the Thunder. Even if they might not win, they might, and then it would be like a crazy upset, and I'm making 1 million chips back because they're not even in the top 5 of title contenders right now. I got 4 chips on the Boston Celtics. Obvious reasons, self-explanatory. The Celtics are nuts, but the playoffs. 4 more chips on the LA Clippers. One of the most well-oiled machines in the NBA right now. And they get Russ back for the playoffs. When Paul George remembers what he's, supposed to be doing on the court and starts playing basketball again, which will happen by the playoffs. Will it happen during the playoffs? I don't know. Will it happen before the playoffs? Yes, he's going to come back. I like the Clippers' chances a lot. So I feel it's only fair to throw some of my chips on them. And finally, the Nuggets are just the Nuggets. It feels wrong to go against them. So out of my snubs, right, I don't really believe that the Bucks have a great chance of going that deep in the playoffs. This is year 1 of Dame, of Giannis, of Coach Doc. The Bucks have kind of just been like a mess. I mean, I think in next year, if I had to bet now, I would be throwing a couple of chips on the Bucks for next year, but I don't think this year it's going to happen. I also don't believe that the Phoenix Suns, the LA Lakers, the Warriors, the Timberwolves, while it's possible, do I want to put one of my chips on them? No, I don't think that makes sense to do. I don't think, the Timberwolves are really great, but now Cat's out, and he's going to come back right before playoffs, and Rudy Gobert has been missing some time, and there's just something about the Timberwolves. I think they're doing good stuff, but I'm worried that they're in a Memphis kind of situation where they're on top of the world, and this may be a little bit short-lived. The Timberwolves and the Thunder are both young teams and are both, powerhouses, but I feel like the Thunder just have a more consistent, I have more confidence in the Thunder, and that's not my bias as a Thunder fan. I have a little bit more confidence in the Thunder than I do the Timberwolves. The Phoenix Suns, they're a fun team to shoe in as a successful playoff team. I don't really believe it's gonna happen. I mean, it's the Suns, man. Like, watch some Suns games. They're not. But they're gonna end up going to the conference finals. But no. Like, honestly, watch the Suns and tell me you genuinely believe they have a title shot. They don't. Lakers, if you have LeBron, you have a chance. If Anthony Davis stays healthy, God bless whoever they're playing in the first round. Hopefully not the Thunder. And for their sake, hopefully not the Nuggets. D'Lo's been on a tear, but we know he's not going to do that shit in the playoffs. D'Lo is not going to do what he's doing right now in the playoffs. There are going to be no big 30 bombs and game winners. He's not doing that shit in the playoffs. It's D'Lo. They were trying to trade. He's a negative contract. He's not doing that shit. So I don't believe the Lakers are going to do anything substantial. It's possible with LeBron. Anything's possible with LeBron on the team, but I don't think it's going to happen this year. And the Warriors, come on, let's be real. I don't think so. Out in the East, Donovan Mitchell been hooping. The Cavs looking pretty good. I sang my praises early this year about Sam Merrill, and Max Strus was even been playing some pretty good ball. But now that Max Strus went down, I know Donovan Mitchell went down. Evan Mobley is, if I'm not mistaken, he's still down. Jared Allen's been playing great. Darius Garland hasn't really made a whole lot of noise. I don't fear the Cavs in the playoffs, and I don't think a lot of the teams in the East at least do. The Knicks definitely have a shot. Knicks got a shot. I think they'll have a better shot in a year or two from now. I know that a lot of people in the Knicks fandom dislike Randall, just flat out dislike the guy, and I always try to prove the point that Randall is producing for the Knicks at a much higher rate than, let's say, Jaylen Brown is for the Celtics, right? And even if Jaylen Brown is great and he's really good, and if he's doing a little bit better than Randall is, which is subjective at this point, he's making double the money. Jaylen Brown, just going into next season, if I'm not mistaken, going into next season, he's making $50-something million. He just signed the biggest contract in NBA history, right? Julius Randle's making 25 M's. Knicks got a lot of cap space. Now we're going to have to sign OG. We're going to have to make a couple of, I'm not saying let's go sign a, max guy. Let's go throw, DeMar DeRozan $40 million, because I don't think that's going to even make the Knicks a better team. But the Knicks have the money. They have some of the assets. They could make a splash. They could have the beginning of the season. Hopefully they do this in the offseason. They could gel. You got OG, Jalen Brunson, Julius Randle, Josh Hart, Dante DiVincenzo, Mitchell Robinson coming back. I think next year the Knicks are going to be genuine title contenders. I don't see it this year. Recently we got word that Embiid is going to be coming back from his injury the first or second week of April. Sixers are the 8 seed now. 7, 8 seed. They're not even in the playoffs anymore. So unless Joel Embiid comes back from his injury and immediately goes back to his old self and is dropping 60 bombs and 50, 20, and 10 I don't see it with the Sixers. I'm sure they have a chance. I don't see it. I like Nick Nurse as a coach a lot. I think he's great for the Sixers, and I think once they're fully healthy, it's going to be shrugging along. They're going to be a real title threat. But until Embiid gets healthy, not happening. There's a lot of teams that are going to be contenders in the future. Right now, I think that those 4, Clippers, Thunder, Nuggets, and Celtics, I think those are our big dogs this year. Those are where my chips are going. How would you spread your chips if you had 15? What would you be putting on who? Would you be putting 2 chips here, 2 chips here? Would you throw a flyer on the Cavs? Would you throw a flyer on the Timberwolves? How would you spend your chips? Let me know down in the comments below. Remember, you got 15 of them things. Make them count. But yeah, that's going to wrap this video up. If you guys enjoyed, drop it a like. And check out the social medias. We got an Instagram and a TikTok. Take clips from everywhere. You can boost some engagement, getting a couple hundred views. We're pumping up the numbers, baby. We're growing. But yeah, hopefully after this, I don't take any more hiatuses this long. I was out of state for a while and had a lot of stuff going on. But nevertheless, we're back, baby. And we got some more content coming week to week. So stay tuned. Thanks for watching.